Welcome to the Pursue Your Spark podcast. We bring you the best tips and solutions in fitness and nutrition to lead a healthy lifestyle. This is the podcast that shows you how you can unlock your potential and why it matters to ignite the spark in your life. And now your host, Heike Yates. Welcome to another episode of the Pursue Your Spark podcast. I'm your host, Heike Yates. Today in episode number 19, we talk about 4 common nutrition myths that are plain old nonsense. Many women refer to food as good or bad, and that often determines how that food makes them feel. My clients may say things like, Heike, I was so bad last night. When I ask why, the answer is, I had dessert and sugar is so bad for you. I'm sure you never eat dessert. Or here's another one. Heike, I was really good yesterday. I only ate a salad for lunch and didn't eat the roll that came with it. I know I will lose weight if I keep up eating just salad. It's a little bit boring and I'm really hungry in the afternoon, but it's all for a good cause, so I just suck it up. You know what? There's no such thing as bad or good foods. Not every food is right for everyone, and pre-existing health conditions may limit which foods you may eat. But we are so confused by all the information out there, and what you should or shouldn't do seems to change every season. Rather than suggesting certain foods are bad, it's important to start asking ourselves what type of nutrition choices we make so they contribute to our health and well-being. You can overdo anything, healthy foods, not so healthy ones, but we need to decide for ourselves what foods give us the biggest bang for the buck or help us reach our nutrition goals. As you know, I am a triathlete. I'm currently training for a triathlon competition and I'm about 3 weeks out from the race. And let me tell you, I eat a lot of food. I don't stuff myself with bread or butter, but most days I will eat a whole grain sandwich for lunch, an apple, and some avocado. Most of my carbohydrates do come from fruits and vegetables. I am always, even when I don't compete, strive to eat a balanced diet of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. But during my competition cycle, I eat lots more carbohydrates to keep up the energy from my training. And here's my secret. Yes, I eat desserts. What's my favorite? Ice cream. So there you have it. Now you know my secret. Would I suggest you eat like I do in my current training program? Of course not. Not unless you're training for a specific endurance event and then you eat for that particular performance. But food is surrounded by these mysteries of do's and don'ts. So today, let's dive into the 4 nutrition myths that are plain old nonsense. Myth number 1, bread makes you gain weight. There are so many choices when it comes to bread. But what is the best bread and how nutritious are those breads? The most common types of breads we find in our store are white, wheat, whole wheat, and whole grain. So let's look at them one by one. First up, white bread. White bread is made from wheat kernels that have been processed to remove the bran and the germ, leaving only what's called the endosperm. This results in a lighter texture and flavor, as well as fewer nutrients. Basically, they stripped all the goodness of the grain. Onto wheat bread. Don't confuse wheat bread with whole wheat bread. Wheat bread means this product is made using wheat flour, which is simply another term for refined white flour. There you have an eye-opener for what kind of bread wheat bread actually is. Next up, whole wheat bread. Whole wheat bread is often thought as healthier than white bread because of the difference in the flour used. But the actual nutrients difference is really small. The word whole is crucial here. It means that the bran, the germ, and the endosperm of the wheat kernel have been left intact. The bread is made up entirely of wheat kernels. It is for sure a healthier choice than wheat bread. Here we have a little more nutrition left, but again, not that much more. And lastly, whole grain bread. Similar to whole wheat bread, whole grain bread is made up of grains that are fully intact, so nothing has been stripped away. In addition to wheat, whole grain bread can include other whole grains such as barley, brown rice, oats, or rolled oats, among others, all of which are rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Though whole wheat is the most popular type of whole grain bread, both are definitely the healthiest breads you can find in the store, and their nutrient content depends on their grain combination. So read the labels. Bread itself does not make you gain weight, but it's dense in calories and low in nutrition density. So it's easy to overeat, in particular if it comes with butter, jelly, honey, or peanut butter. If you eat a turkey sandwich and an apple for lunch, you will not gain weight. Eating more calories than you need, in this case from bread, will lead to weight gain. Most importantly, it will leave little room for nutrient-dense food like fruits and vegetables. It's rather the lifestyle and overall nutrition choices we make that make us gain weight. Here's my tip. Get a bakery fresh whole grain bread, get it sliced, put whatever you don't eat right away in the freezer for future use. That's what I do. If you buy bread in the store, read the label. Look for 100% whole grain, at least 3 grams of fiber, less than 200 milligrams of sodium, and less than 2 grams of sugar per slice. So read your labels. It's very important. 100% whole grain, at least 3 grams of fiber, and 200 milligrams of sodium, and less than 2 grams of sugar per slice is what you're looking for when you buy your bread in the store. On to myth number 2. Carbs are bad for you. The first thing most people do when they want to lose weight is cut carbohydrates, making carbs the bad guy. Carbohydrates, however, are an essential part of a balanced diet. They're your body's preferred energy source, so if you lack energy, you may need more carbs. And they're for sure important for your fitness performance. Not all carbohydrates are created equally, so let's look at those. We have simple carbs and we have complex carbs. Simple carbs, like refined sugar, spike your blood sugar quickly because they're broken down fast and easier to use than others in your body. You eat those when you need a quick boost of energy. Your body can use these types of carbs almost immediately. The problem, though, is that eating these carbs can spike your blood sugar quickly and may lead to sugar crashes later in the day. Because these carbs are so readily usable by the body, they also get stored easily as fat. Better choices are the complex carbohydrates, like oatmeal. They take a little longer to digest, don't spike your blood sugar as dramatically, and often contain more fiber than their simple carbs counterparts, meaning they also keep you full longer. Here's some examples of complex carbs and what it might look like. So let's take 2 medium sweet baked potatoes, 46 grams of carbs. A cup of oatmeal, for 1 to 3/4 of a cup of oatmeal, you have 49 grams of carbs. 2 slices of whole wheat bread are 44 grams of carbs. You will need higher amounts of carbohydrates when you increase muscle mass, like your strength training, or like I need for my training as your physical activity level increases. But remember, excessive carbohydrate consumption will be stored for future use as fat. Body is a sneaky thing. So how much should you eat? The average person's minimum carbohydrate intake should be 130 grams per day, with the majority coming from fruits and vegetables. Here's my tip. So you see, carbs are not the bad guy here. It's how much you eat and what type that makes the difference. Keeping your energy level consistent by sticking to complex carbs instead of eating refined sugars throughout the day will give you lots more energy throughout the day and through your training. Myth number 3, avoid all sugar, including fruit. Oh my. Some diets call for the complete elimination of sugar, including fruit. The reason for the eliminations are just simply ridiculous. They claim, whoever they are, they claim that eating fruit makes you fat. Oh, and don't forget, don't eat fruit after 2 p.m. because it turns into sugar. Or you can only eat certain fruits and not others. And the list just goes on and on. In most cases, processed carbs are the culprit for these cravings. I have yet to hear about somebody telling me, Heike, I want bananas. I need to have a banana, or I need to have mangoes. I just can't stop myself from eating mangoes. I'm sure you haven't had any of those cravings. Healthy diets have a foundation in fruits and vegetables and tend to be lower in saturated fat and cholesterol. They also have higher levels of dietary fiber, magnesium, which many of us are lagging, potassium, vitamin C and E, folate, carotenoids, flavonoids, and other phytochemicals. Very important to know. The USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, recommends at least 1.5 cups of fruit a day for a woman. What counts as a cup? As you know, I don't coach by measures of ounces and cups and so forth. I measure by a fist. So look at your hand, look at your fist. This is the size of your fruit serving for the day, which is basically a small apple, a medium pear, a large banana, a large peach, a large orange, 2 large plums, 8 strawberries, and then maybe a handful of seedless grapes. My tip, instead of reaching for a donut or a cookie the next time you want something sweet, grab a piece of fruit instead. If you are concerned about your weight, make sure you stay within your percentage of macronutrients of the day. Myth number 4, eating protein makes you fat. That's a good one. Many women shy away from eating protein and seem to think that protein is high in fat and calories. They want to save calories and get leaner in their battle to get rid of belly fat. Somehow eating protein does not seem to be a priority for many women. Maybe you grab a store-bought protein shake or eat a protein bar while you're out for lunch instead of a salad. I want you to check out my blog post. Are store-bought protein shakes really that healthy? If you're a shake drinker, go check it out. I put a link in the notes. I'm not saying pile on the steak, but it's super important to add adequate amounts of lean protein to your diet. And you will actually get leaner and lose weight. 3 important facts about protein to remember. Number 1, protein makes you feel fuller longer. Isn't that nice? Protein stimulates the release of a hormone called peptide YY, PYY, in the gut. It helps reduce hunger and makes you full quicker. Don't believe me? Go and try to eat a whole plain skinless chicken. See how far you get. Number 2, protein takes longer to digest. Not all food is digested equally, as we saw earlier with the carbohydrates, and the same goes for fat, both which are pretty easy digested and absorbed. On the other hand, protein will stay in your stomach longer because it takes longer to digest and it takes more energy to be digested. Protein, number 3, protein boosts your metabolism. Eating more protein can boost your metabolism so you can build more lean muscle mass and burn more calories. Protein is an important building block of bones, muscle, skin, and blood. How much protein should you eat? The U.S. Department of Agriculture recommends that all women over the age of 19 should get at least 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, or 0.37 grams per pound. That means a woman who is 150 pounds should get at least 54 grams of protein. And I'll share with you a little tip of not getting confused with those grams again. But I wanted to share this important information with you so you have an idea what protein looks like and how simple it really is to get into your diet. So here's some examples. Are you ready? Greek yogurt, definitely a favorite for many. 8 ounces has 23 grams of protein. And cottage cheese per half cup has 14 grams. The top 2 are definitely one of my favorites. Yellowfin tuna per 3 ounces has 25 grams of protein. Boneless chicken for 3 ounces has 24 grams, just almost as much as the tuna. Now, as I said earlier, how do I measure? I don't do grams and I don't do cups. So look at your hand, take the palm of your hand, that would be the tuna or the chicken. So just the palm of your hand, about the thickness at the palm of your hand. Somebody asked me that the other day, how thick it should be. Just basically the palm of your hand. The Greek yogurt and the cottage cheese are easy to eat because they oftentimes come in little containers. Okay, here's my pro tip. As a nutrition coach, I recommend eating lean protein with every meal. Absolutely, I do that every day and every meal. Protein can be found in a variety of foods. Don't just think steak. If you're trying to prevent weight gain, you want to include lean sources of protein in your diet. Stick with real foods whenever possible, of course, like nuts and seeds. Didn't think about that. They're rich in protein as well. We mentioned the Greek yogurt already. String cheese, easy to put in that purse. Or eggs, hard-boiled eggs. Although your coworkers may not like you if you bring hard-boiled eggs. But it is a choice. They're all convenient, just like a protein bar, but so much more nutritious. So there you have it. The 4 nutrition myths that are plain old nonsense. If you're ready to take charge of your healthy lifestyle, why don't you start with my free training? Eat your way to a spunky body. I will leave a link in the notes. So I'm really appreciating that you're here with me and you're hanging out and you really want to learn about a healthy lifestyle. It's such an important part of my life, and I'm glad I can share this with you. So until next time, have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!